tax and capital gains tax has been raised from 25 million naira to 100 million naira in annual turnover. This measure is intended to support entrepreneurship, encourage business formalization, and stimulate job creation, particularly within the informal sector. The introduction of a progressive personal income tax structure ranging from 0% to a maximum of 25% reinforces equity by ensuring the higher earners shoulder a greater share of the tax burden. Renters also benefit from a new housing relief, allowing a 20% rent deduction capped at 500,000 naira to reduce taxable income. On the corporate front, the gradual reduction of the company's income tax rate from 30% to 25% by 2026 is aimed at improving Nigeria's competitiveness and attracting investments. The replacement of multiple levies with a single 4% development levy simplifies compliance while ensuring sustained funding for critical national development needs. To align with international tax reforms, particularly the global minimum tax framework, large corporations and multinationals with turnover above 50 billion naira are now subject to a minimum effective tax rate at 15%. This provision is designed to curb aggressive tax avoidance and protects Nigeria's tax base. The agricultural sector receives targeted incentives, including a 5-year income tax exemption for companies engaged in crop production, livestock, and agro-processing, underscoring government's efforts to boost food security, rural employment, and non-oil revenue. Value-added tax reforms remain the most contentious aspect of the initiative. Essential goods and services such as basic food items, healthcare, education, and electricity are now zero-rated, a move aimed at cushioning inflationary pressures on households. However, VAT on non-essential goods will rise gradually from 7.5% to 10% in 2025, with a long-term target of 15% by 2030, signaling a shift towards consumption-based revenue mobilization. The introduction of the derivation principle in VAT sharing, where 60% of state allocations are based on consumption rather than company headquarters, marks a significant policy shift. While it favors states the higher consumption levels, it has sparked resistance from some northern states concerned about potential revenues losses, highlighting ongoing federal-state fiscal tensions. Taken together, the 2025 tax reforms signal a decisive move toward a simpler, fairer, and more transparent tax regime. The framework prioritizes equity, economic growth, and fiscal sustainability while addressing long-standing inefficiencies in tax administration. Nonetheless, successful implementation will depend on effective enforcement, stakeholder buy-in, and continued dialogue, particularly on VAT distribution, to ensure national cohesion and shared prosperity.
Good morning and thank you for joining us today on The Insights. Remember that on The Insight is where we'll bring you a bit of issues, topics, headlines, policies that help in shaping our nation. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to a very special edition of this segment where we're looking at unpacking the critical agendas shaping Nigeria's future in 2026. As we stand at the threshold of a pivotal year, the federal and state government face immense expectation to deliver transformative progress and economic recovery amid security challenges and public demands. And this morning, helping us to set this agenda for 2026 is Dr. Ruben Onyishi, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Enugu State on New Media. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you on the Insight.
Yeah, thank you very much, my brother.
All right. Let's just get straight into it. You know, usually before we start setting agenda, you know, I would want to refer to the Igbo people that will always tell you that it's always good to take stock from where you're coming from. And they will usually say in the dialect, and I want to ask you, looking back to 2025, what are these issues, the newsworthy issues that happened in 2025 that you think, in your opinion, will help in shaping our agenda for 2026?
Well, 2025 has been quite eventful. If you take a look at it from, I always start with where I am, which is Enugu State. If you look at what the governor of Enugu State has done in 2025, even taking it from the budget of 2025, where we had 971 billion, and then the budget is met up to 83%. And then you look at activities that have been done, looking at the smart schools, 260 completed. Looking at the type 2 hospitals, 260 completed. Looking at Enugu A, we had 3 fleets. Then we procured 3 extra, making it 6. And then in this year's budget, we are getting extra 14 to make it 20 fleets. You understand? Look at what the governor is doing. And then that will also give you an idea of what is also happening at the center, the renewed hope agenda of the presidency. And you could see that a lot of economic reforms that are beginning to yield, positive turns. So 2026 was eventful, and it somehow will shape what we are going to have in 2026. If you look at the budget of 2026, for instance, it will also give you an inkling of what the government wants to do. This time around, we have a budget of 1.62 trillion in Enugu State. And if you look at the structure of that budget, you'll find out that it is 80-20. It's not like Maslow's law, 80-20, in the sense that the CAPEX, that's capital project, is 80%. Then recurrent expenditure is 20%. And that tells you where the government is headed for. That this is about infrastructural development. You understand? And the social services, like in education. Education has 32% of the budget. So that tells you that the government is development oriented. We want to create, build infrastructures, and then attract investors. Because there are, if you look at the 3 cardinal objectives of this government, is to rev up the GDP from where we met it, which was 4.4 billion, to $30 billion. That's the GDP. And then making the first choice of investment destination. Because we are creating ease of doing business and attracting, investors. And then ultimately to eradicate poverty and reduce it to 0% headcount index. That's what the government wants to do. So you find out that the target is geared towards getting these objectives realized. And that's why you see in the budget, you see the kind of budget we have, where 80% is devoted to capital projects and 20% is only to recurrent expenditure. So which means that the government is infrastructure oriented. They want to put things in place, drive the economy, and make it a thriving one for the citizen. That is what the government is doing, and that's what shaped. You look at 2025, you find out that it is, we call this budget of renewed momentum. You understand? Tells you that we are building on what we have already established. All right.
All right. Usually is difficult when one is, when one encounter men like you without wanting to dance at the state level first before, beating the drums out. But this morning, I will draw you out a bit from Enugu State. Then when we come back, we'll X-ray Enugu State.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
I would agree with you.
Because no Enugu State is where I play.
I agree with you.
Yes,
Enugu State, people are really,
yes.
people are really taking off. Is a renewed momentum,
Yes.
because you become a reference point amongst the subnationals.
Yes.
But let's dance at the national level first.
Okay.
Talking about the issues, that most recently that will dictate the pace as a nation, because I want to look at the agendas, and I'm talking to Dr. Ruben Onyeshi. I want you to set the agenda for the federal government, bearing in mind the happenings around the nation in 2025. And I want to start with one that I know you're quite conversant with, the issue around the tax reform. Yes. That has, made the news headlines, and there's still quite a lot of commentaries around it, even starting from the assembly, the National Assembly, where the issues around the framing of the bill, being what was passed, being different from what was gazetted, and then the arguments either to suspend the implementation for the investigations and the processes to finish, and then the National Assembly coming out to tell us they are giving us a position on the issue around the budget and all that. I want to get your opinion.
Looking at the tax reform, yes, it has been back and forth. Some persons claiming that what the Assembly passed was not what was gazetted. But, there are a lot of misconceptions about the tax reform. Some persons are saying that it's something that is, nobody likes to pay tax in the first place. Nobody likes to pay tax. And that's why we have, even at the state level, a lot of tax evasion. You understand? But then people have to pay tax because it is a civic obligation and one of the sources of revenue for the government. Be that as it may, the tax reform, from what I'm getting from FIRS, they said it is meant to kind of enhance government revenue, and that it will benefit the common man. All right. There are also fillers all over the place that are going to be taxing people. When somebody credits money to your account, they will tax you, and all that. So you have to do right narration and all that. But we have seen that all that is not true. There is no debiting of anyone. I haven't seen I've made some transactions this year, and I haven't seen anything to that effect, unless it's something that is going to be taken at the end of the year. But that be that as it may, I think the idea is to enhance revenue profile for the federal government. A lot of borrowings, to finance the budget. But if we can realize such funding from tax, especially taxing the big companies and all that, and I think it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. But the only thing is, when we get the tax, what do we do with it? If it is for the development of the state, I think it's something that is welcome. But like I said, people don't want to pay tax. Nobody wants to pay tax. That's why people always evade tax all over, try to circumvent it. But it has to be paid because it is a source of government revenue and a statutory earning for the government. So that from it we will be able to cushion the effects of, we borrowed a lot. This government has borrowed a lot, and anything borrowed has to be paid. Whether we like it or not, it has to be paid. So we have to pay the tax. Yeah, we have to pay it, no matter how it looks, but we have to pay it. So the government will have access to revenue with which it does its projects. That's my opinion about the tax question.
All right. Your opinion is quite germane, but let me go a little bit further. I know you don't want to be dragged into a lot of this, but people, I think, do not have really have issue with paying taxes, but people complain that when they pay these taxes, they do not see what and where government is, implementing or doing, channeling these taxes. And a number of times people talk about over taxation, and even your government at the subnational, more often people criticize the good work that you do in name of over taxation in Enugu State as well.
There is no overtaxation in Enugu State. These things are just misconceptions. All right, and this thing was going on. So government had to set up a committee to review the tax issues because people are saying we are being overtaxed and all that. But you know that some of these things are political. The opposition is trying to use it. They're just trying to find a way to get at the governor. And then since they haven't found a way, they are claiming that they are paying much in tax, but I doubt that anybody is being overtaxed. These things are even streamlined in such a way that you don't get to be taxed twice. Like some of these businesses, you pay 34,000 naira. 34,000 naira per annum. You understand? It's not something that is much. It's just something you give for your state. All right, 34,000. Some of them make, it's not even up to profit someone makes in a day. All right, and if you divide it by 365, how much is it? It's nothing to write home about. So, but people will always talk. People will always want to raise issues where there is no issue. And then again, if you pay tax and you see where it is being plumbed, look at all that the government of Pitamba is doing. For instance, we just flagged off 1,022 roads in Enugu here. Is it not money that we used to execute these projects? You understand? The government is building smart secondary schools, more like a mini university in the 17 local governments of Enugu State. Is it not money that is being used for it? If you look at the budget, we are looking at 870 million revenue that we ought to generate. This is not something that is coming from FAC, but something that has to be internally generated. So do you understand? And then this little contribution, people are complaining. No, I take exception to that. The little you pay in tax, pay because it's a source of government revenue. And this money for a government like Pitamba, for instance, you could see that everything that we get is being plowed into infrastructural development of the state. That's humongous projects. Look at Enugu A. We are talking about Enugu A. We are getting extra 14 aircrafts. And you also know the economic implication of the Enugu and the jobs that it creates. You understand, trickling down even to the technician, and then it's a value chain like connectivity, hospitality. That's why we're building a ICC hotel. That hotel is a 5-star hotel, and then look at all the moribund assets that are being revamped in the state. All right. So how do government FAC is nothing to write. FAC is about 300 billion. You understand? If you look at FAC, so FAC cannot even scratch the surface of what the government wants to do. So you can't be talking about federal allocation. We can't every day be waiting for federal allocation. And thank goodness this governor is someone that is creative. He's not just folding his hand, because ordinarily we just fold our hands and say whatever comes to Abuja, we use it. But he's not doing that. He's creative, getting funds here and there. For instance, the new Enugu Smart City will yield 300 billion. It has been worked out with mathematical precision that will yield 300 billion to the state government. And it's more like free fund. Apart from the commission, we pay, this is about BG we got from Fidelity Bank, which we crystallized in, that time it was got, it's about 3 years, within which the proceeds of that new Enugu city shall have been realized. You understand?
Yeah, Doc,
yes.
One thing there's no doubt, one thing that is not in doubt about Enugu State is that your governor is project oriented, but I still want to hold you a bit. When we talk about taxation, many have argued that the poor in the society should be exempted from payments of such taxes. Look at, for example, let's say barrel pushers in Obwete market, for example, that such individuals, those who hawk, such individuals should be exempted from, payment of such taxes. Don't you buy into the idea as well?
Well, I don't buy into that idea because, number one, Ndigbo silo obele azụ, but obele nkụ. Nukwazu, bata nuku.
What does that mean?
You understand? Fetch according to your ability. To each according to the ability.
Okay.
All right. The bottom pushers you are talking about, how much did they pay? That's the question. How much did they pay? So it's nothing to write home about. Maybe 200 naira. Okay. You understand? I'm not sure, but maybe something like that. So there's nothing to write home about. It's just little token that you pay. Like I said, nobody likes to pay tax. Even if you make it to 1 naira, nobody would want to pay.
Okay.
That has been with the people. When we were children, I was a small boy. At times our fathers will start running, kitty, kitty, kitty. I say, where are they running? They say, no talk about the tax collectors, that they have arrived. People will start running. And this thing has caused problem for some communities. For instance, my community, for instance, there was a time they somehow felt that that if you give the number of male people in your place, that they will tax you more. So what they did was that they just said we are 5 in the community, 5, and then they will get tax. They will go and pay tax for 5 people, and if anybody is going to Sukata, you will give him tax paper. A person is going who come and collect tax clearance that you are on. So you are bearing the same name. They just tell you the name in the business.
For example, everybody from that area.
Everybody, yes. For 5 persons. So you can, this is why you go and collect it and all that. In case tax people will stop you on the way. Now, when they were creating words, they say, well, you are just 5 people. We gave them 1 word. If there is any way to even reduce the number of words, they should have done it. They just gave them 1 word. But that some communities of that population, or do you understand, are getting 3 words, are getting 2 words, but we got only 1 because of this attitude. Yeah, okay. So people should comfortably pay this tax, especially when you see that the proceed, where the proceed is going. This government is not extravagant. It's not, nothing is being spent on frivolities. Everything you could see is that is working.
All right.
And they say Peter Mba, they work with the SIA.
All right, Doc. I would let me still go back at the national level on the issues. We'll come back to this Enugu State. Perhaps we'll close with Enugu State.
Okay.
But I want to bring your attention to the security challenge. The United States government strike in Nigeria as at 25th December 2025, and which possibly they are indicating further actions in Nigeria. I want to get your perspective on that as regards security challenges and our stepping into 2026, because we are setting agenda security-wise for the government.
Yes, what the US did is something that we should appreciate. You understand? Because they are helping us to fight crime. They are helping us, the bandits, the terrorists, you understand, the Boko Haram and all that. The US is helping us to fight these things. US said, well, Nigeria has been placed as a country of concern, special concern, and that Christians are being killed. There's argument that it's not just Christians that are killed, that also Muslims are being killed. And some people are arguing that more Christians are being killed. And you see threats here and there. Perhaps, if not for the US intervention, who knows what would have happened, especially during the New Year. And I learned that some of these terrorists were already, planning to hit somewhere. That is a target, and the US struck immediately. It's a security situation. Is something we have to deal with in this country, because security is key to even anything we are doing. For us as a nation to develop, for us as a nation to do anything, we have to be sure that lives and property are guaranteed. But these are people who, from nowhere, came and start killing people, kidnapping people, killing people, terrorizing the people. So what Donald Trump did for us is something that we should appreciate. You understand? Because since that time, and they are cooperating with Nigerian military. They are cooperating. You can see the cooperation. You understand? And everything is working out fine. And it is welcome. It's a welcome development, because if you leave it that way, the country was, degenerating security-wise. We were neither here nor there. All right, but America coming right away to deal with the Islamic State of West Africa and all these people that are, is something that we should appreciate. We will have a lease of new life, because Nigeria, we've been terrorized. People are being killed here and there every day. I never saw such a thing. It's terrible. It's terrible. So, and then look at the various kidnapping. Immediately after that, they started more. I think when Trump made that statement, they started the kidnapping in Niger State and all that, Kwara State and all that. So it's something we have to deal with. It's something we have to deal with, and America is helping us to do that. We appreciate it.
But no, what's impressive is what your government has been able to do in Enugu State. When granted, we must speak about it. The level of security in Enugu State, the provision of drones, the arming of forest guards, the equipment of police, the synergy and the monitoring from the Lion building. It's something that we wish that other states replicate. Perhaps we have had more lasting security in and across the federation as well.
Yes, I agree with you, because you see, Peter Mba is a trailblazer. He's a trailblazer, very creative, intelligent, and has foresights and visionary. A visionary person, a visionary governor. So, because we started with, first of all, when we came on board, there was this sit at home. You understand? People were sitting at home and all that on Mondays. So he ended it, stopped it. Because like we say, if our target is to attract investors do not take security risks. They may take financial risks, they may take commercial risks, but they do not take security risk. So how do you bring in an investor who is not sure of his business, who is not sure of even his life? You understand? Because sit at home also had its attendant problems, insecurity. Because if you come out, you'll be killed. Simon Ekman and all that, we are killing people here. If you ever came out, you'll be killed. They killed a woman, a pregnant woman at a New Market, because she came out on a sit-at-home day. People were being killed anyhow. The unknown gunmen and all that. But this is someone that has courage. The governor has courage. So he came in and ended it sit at home. Because if you look at the economy of Southeast, for instance, it was a power state. Southeast was losing a lot on account of sit at home. So he ended it. Now, then, apart from that, he set up the DRS, provided about 200 vehicles for DRS, got surveillance cameras with AI embedded cameras installed in them, then started building the command and control center at Government House. It was built, and that command and control center, from there you monitor the entire Enugu State. Whatever that is happening in Enugu State, if you go there now, real time, you will see Ozowani, you will see Ugodo Road, you will see Fokona, you will see everywhere being monitored. Do you understand? Then he set up the Enugu State Security Trust Fund, because security is something very serious. Security is a business of everyone. So, and the Enugu Security Trust Fund, we're asking people donated to this trust fund. We're asking people to donate 1 naira, 2 naira, you know they have. Donate to this security trust fund so that we can get the right equipment. Now, in this year's budget, 11 billion naira is slated for security. You understand? And then we have to acquire the drones. And then, because already we are setting up the Enugu State Forest Guard. They are recruiting more persons. The neighborhood watch, we are recruiting more young men. So that these people will move into the forest and police it and make sure that there are no criminals or kidnappers in our forests. We have to rid our forests of kidnappers. And then the drones, the 2 drones acquired, will be able to go the length and breadth of Enugu State in a short while and get information. Do you understand? Collect information, give information about why the kidnappers are, what they are doing and all that, and the state of affairs of the kidnapped and all that, the security situation. So that is what the governor has done. And let me tell you, it is something that needs to rub off on the nation. It has not been achieved anywhere. The command and control center has not been. Even the one they have in Lagos, I think, is a mini command and control center.
I was going to ask you, when they go for governors' meetings and they have interactions, don't he advise these other governors to toe the same path? Because we have a lasting peace. Yeah,
I agree with you. Every government has its own agenda, but Peter Mba is presenting his administration as a gaze to the other subnationals. This is where we are. This is what we are doing. You can copy. Copy it. It's something good. If you see something good, won't you copy? Copy it. So that's what we're asking. That's what I'm saying. Because Wittenberg is ahead. He's ahead. He's thinking ahead. Look at the smart schools. Who told him to set up the smart schools? Look at the type 2 hospital, bringing healthcare down to the grassroots, so that you have no excuse that you are sick. You have the Chinese child that has no excuse that you are not going to school. There's a bus to convey you to school. School uniform is free. Bag is free. Tablet is free. Education is free. You are entitled to a lunch.
All right.
It's something that is out of the world.
All right. If your opponents are watching us, they will be accusing us of campaigning for your government. But
if we are not campaigning, we are just stating the facts.
But before we go on break, I want to bring something to your attention. When you talk about the Enugu Air, and in your budget this year, you talk about bringing on board another 20 aircraft, and then we've talked about revitalization of moribund government assets in Enugu State. We've seen the presidential hotel and other investment. But
ICC,
yes,
UPPL,
all right, yeah, lots of them. Yes, lots of them. But the question here is that a lot of persons have accused your government that most of your developments and initiatives, talk about even the bus rapid terminals and that, are all elitist.
Terrible, bad criticism that has nowhere. It has no place in this government. How can it be elitist? You are talking about Enugu A, for instance. Do you know how many jobs Enugu A has created? Is that elitist? It trickles down to even the bus driver.
How does he affect the common man on the street?
The common man on the street, even the electricians will get job. Let me also tell you, this Enugu A they are talking about, don't you have people, the ground staff, and you have those that are flying? Aren't they people that are employed? All right. Now, if you look at the value chain, it connects even hospitality. That's why we are building this hotel, this ICC hotel. In fact, Enugu need about 5,000 keys. Why we are building the hotel is that people, if you are traveling, hotels have to be available, because for people are coming into Enugu State. We are looking at 3 million persons. 3 million persons coming into Enugu State. Where 3 million persons come into a state, do you know the economic implication? Those 3 people will eat, they will shop, they will sleep in hotels. During the Bar Association conference, 20 million persons, 20,000 persons came into Enugu. Didn't we see the effect? People who are confessing, those selling were confessing that they are now selling. Is it not trickling down to the common man? You understand? They will eat now. They go and eat. They will go and shop. Those that wait, they will sell. Those hotels will sell. The hotel we are building, let me put it in Igbo. Now, the governor set up a tractor assemblage plant that's employing over 500 persons. Is it not people from Enugu that will be employed? The asphalt producing plant that the governor set up that produces 165 tons per hour, do you understand? How many jobs? Over 1,000 jobs created. The hotel presidential jobs are created. The Enugu International Hospital that is nearing completion now, is it not human beings that will? Even the hotel we are talking about, is it not human beings that will work there? Aren't they Enugu people? The ICC now that is ongoing, because by the time Enugu is becoming a conferencing center, by the time all these people come in, do you understand? You find out that the thing will trickle down to everybody. That's what we are doing. What we are doing is that we want to rev up the GDP of the state, so that whatever you are doing, look at Lagos as a subnational. Why is it that people are going to Lagos? You didn't graduate now. If you graduate, you rush to Lagos. Why? Because they hope to get employment. So by the time we bring the multinationals and bring all these companies in Enugu, do you understand? Don't you know the effect? Even down to where we have cassava processing plants and all that. We are registered farmers. People are producing and all that. By the time we set up all these things, aren't they going to get even raw material for their productions, like the companies, the multinationals? So the farmer there already. We have asked farmers in Enugu State. We are building farm estate. Now, those farmers, we say, whatever you produce, government will be the off-taker. We will buy it off from you. Enugu Marketing Board is there. And they are selling these things cheap to the people. So we have food security.
Right,
so you find out that it trickles everywhere. But people don't think deep. They think that Enugu is all about flying, and that's just it. They don't think about the value chain, the effects, and how it goes. Connecting even to the terminals. Look at all the terminals that are built. Now we are going to build more terminal, Ubola for Ogo, Udi, and where again? Falcon. By the time we build all these terminals, aren't there going to be people that are working there? Is it not going to be people? Do you understand?
Right.
And then, yeah, so the whole thing is so interconnected.
Right.
And what the government is doing is that we want to make Enugu one of the big 3 subnationals. Do you understand? So when you think about where to go, you come to Enugu because whatever you do in Enugu will thrive.
All right.
That's what the government is doing.
Doc, we'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll speak to the sustainability of these projects.
All right.
Please stay with us.
Advertise with us. Cover your event. Share your story. Call 070-3043-7110 today. Aneke TV. Move with the world.
Thank you for staying with us on the Insights. I will be discussing with Dr. Ruben Onyishi. He is a senior special assistant to the governor of Enugu State on new media, and we've been talking on setting the agenda for 2026. Dr. Ruben,
yes.
It's been an interesting conversation. Now we've mentioned the Enugu Air. We've talked about lots of projects that has been built, and you've been debunking the issues around these projects being elitist. But before we go to other issues, I want to ask to the sustainability of these projects, because people have raised the issue that tomorrow, perhaps when the governor has done his term and leaves office, is a big challenge in Nigeria, that of sustainability. When government move, another comes in. You see projects being abandoned. You see good initiatives being abandoned. Even the smart school initiative still stand the risk of sustainability. What do you say to these issues?
Okay, thank you very much. The issue of sustainability is something that people should not worry about, because Pitamba is building institutions. You understand? And when you build institutions will run seamlessly with minimal human interference. You understand? That's it. Institutions will run like Pitamba migrating most of these platforms to e-platforms. All right. Look at in the area of land administration, we're looking at NGs. You understand? And then Enugu State Geographic Information System. And then in the area of civil service, migrating all the MDAs to e-platforms. Is building institutions. Look at the smart schools, for instance. That's where people have feared that what happens after this government. It's also building the educational institution in such a way that you lock it up, that nobody will disrupt it. Locking it up means by the time now the smart schools have all taken off, and all other schools are collapsed into the smart school. You understand? And is there any government that will come and stop children from going to school?
Definitely not.
So there's no government that will do that. So the smart schools will run, because there are no other schools. It is the smart school that operates. Do you understand? And it is flowing. The administration and everything is set that in such that. Meanwhile, let me tell you, no matter how we look at it, this is politics. I believe that the person that will replace the governor will be someone that has caught into his vision. I believe so. that has cut into the vision of what he's doing, because the governor is working hard and doing well. And so, if he makes a suggestion of who will replace him, I believe that Ndenugu will endorse it. And if Ndenugu endorses that, which means that this person has cut into this vision. So the area of sustainability is there. But let me also say that in a democracy, it is government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Do you understand? If the people say that this is what they want, no government can circumvent it. It is the people that employ the governor or the government. And the government is working for the people. And so, whatever you are doing, you must do it in the interest of the people. Otherwise, there will be public outcry. Government engages the interest of the people. There is no way you say you are government and the policies are anti-people. If the policies are anti-people, you will see outcry. Do you understand? You see outcry and will be forced to do the right thing. Otherwise, that government will become illegitimate. All right. Government is not working for itself; it's working for the people. And if strong institutions are built, it will even be difficult for anyone to interfere. Because disrupting, if you disrupt the institution or the flow of the institution, it means that you have, at the basis, shall have destroyed a whole lot. That's what the governor is doing, and you can't do that.
All right.
You can't do that in a democracy.
Right. Well taken, but
yes.
You know, you've made the argument that government is a continuum, and it has to be somebody who has cut into his vision.
Yes.
But you know, given what we're witnessing in Rivers State, for example,
yes,
you wouldn't say that Fubara didn't catch into Wike's vision before he handed over to him, and we are witnessing the sorry scenario in Rivers State.
What is the sorry scenario in Rivers State? Is Wike not working? Wike is working. Fubara is working. Fubara is doing wonderfully well. Fubara is doing wonderfully well. What we have there is political crisis. Do you understand? We don't have any economic development.
Which is a big distraction.
Well, it's not. Well, I don't think it's a distraction to the governor, because the governor is working. He's working. Is he not flagging off commissioning projects all here and there in Rivers State? Right. It's just a political distraction, but it doesn't really go into the heart of what he's doing. He's working, and Wike also worked.
All right.
Wike worked, and Fubara took it from where he is. They are working.
All right.
You understand? But if we should go into the politics of Rivers State, you understand? I have my opinions about that.
We'll leave that for
another
discussion. But now that we're talking politics, part of the issues that will shape 2026 as well as we are setting agendas is your governor, your party. You moved away from the PDP, where you got the votes, moved into APC. These are issues that will equally continue to resonate as far as 2026 is concerned. What are your chances in APC in going into 2026 in full as we view to 2027, bearing in mind that APC before now was a persona non grata in Southeast Nigeria?
I wouldn't say that APC is the persona non grata in Southeast. It's just a question of predilection and you know, the party you want to support. But you know, since Tinubu came in, he has realigned the APC, and APC is no longer regionalized as such, and it's a people-oriented party. And you could see that's he made it a bride to the subnationals, and you see that the governors are embracing APC. APC is gaining popularity. Do you understand? In everywhere, even in Southeast. Do you understand? So it's the rate of its acceptability is becoming high because of what His Excellency President Tinubu has done at the center. But if you are talking about Peter Mba winning his re-election, that of course is not an issue, because when we discussed with His Excellency, he said, look, I'm not really bothered about whether I'm coming back or not. I'm really focused on deliverables. Okay. Do you understand? To deliver to the people. But if after delivering to the people and they say, no, you're not coming back, so be it. But I can assure you that the people of Enugu State, like when we moved from PDP, because one moved, you know what happened to the PDP? I don't need to tell you.
Tell us.
PDP, you don't know what happened, that PDP is in crisis. PDP at Osun State now.
It was the crisis that necessitated your move.
So that's it. We are connecting to the center. We are moving. We moved, yes, because it's crisis reading.
So you do not see a PDP making a comeback?
How? Which comeback with the kind of a crisis he has? Look at Osun State now. There is no candidate. Look at Ekiti State. There is no candidate.
But your party is being accused of orchestrating this crisis.
Which party? APC?
Yes.
How? How did they beat APC? Well, we're in politics. We're in politics. You are going to challenge me. So if I orchestrate crisis to kill you, is it a wrong thing?
All right.
Yes.
Since we are talking
with politics, yes.
Since we are talking politics
yes.
now, your party, you held a stakeholders meeting just
yes.
the other day.
Yes.
And okay, just tell us about that stakeholders meeting.
Yes, where the Southeast endorsed Tinubu, endorsed Tinubu for a second term. The APC Southeast endorsing Tinubu for a second term. It's worth the while because he has performed creditably well. He has discharged himself very well. And Southeast is a major beneficiary of the Tinubu administration. Okay. If you look at the appointments we've had. Because at times people think that it's just when for someone from Southeast becomes president, and that's to me is immaterial. Okay? Tinubu is doing a lot for the Southeast. He's doing a lot for, look at, he set up the Southeast Development Commission. You understand? With their budget. And then again, look at even the service chiefs. He appointed our son, Ogala, from Enugu State, was the chief of naval staff. And when Ogala, he appointed Aneke, the chief of Navy staff. You know, these are the things we are looking for. Looking at development, how does it benefit us as a region? This government has benefited us a lot. Look at all the commission. The Minister of Works is from Southeast. Do you understand? These are key ministries. Do you understand? We have service chiefs. So Southeast is not being marginalized in Tinubu's administration. All right? And what we should do is to support Tinubu for his second tenure. Southeast should support Tinubu for his second tenure. So that as by the time we finish, we can negotiate something better. From this government, we can negotiate something better.
But Doc,
yes,
it is argued that your stakeholders meeting that was held the other day, was sparked into action because of as a chain reaction to the former declaration of P2B to move into the coalition proper at Aneke Lake.
Yes, let me tell you something. You see, Achebe wrote in his Antis of Savannah, he said that power was galloping nakedly at the street of Kangan, and the goddess of Idemiri, looking at it from the eyes of the storm, came and tied a loincloth of peace and modesty around power's rude waist. If you don't have someone that advises you, you may make a mistake. Obi's declaration is good, but it is not better at this time. Do you understand? In as much as Southeast presidency is something that we all desire, all right, we have to look at the political circumstances and be able to take a position. All right. Right now, why wouldn't you want Tinubu to complete his second tenure? Tinubu he's doing very well, and Southeast is benefiting. Let him complete his second tenure. Obi's declaration is not better at this time. Do you understand? And that's why we need to advise. What the Igbos need now is not fragmented politics. Do you understand? But unity, to galvanize and have a common front. Support Tinubu, galvanize, support Tinubu, and negotiate something out of it. That's what is important. Than that Obi is going there now, because number one, Obi is likely not going to get the ticket. And even if he gets the ticket, we do not vote for him. The North will not even vote for him. Because Southeast vote alone cannot make Obi president. You know that. It cannot make him president. They will not vote for him because power will return to the North. Power will return to the North after Tinubu. And you wouldn't want somebody who will come, even though he tell you he will do one tenure. Did Jonathan not say he will do one tenure? Wasn't there an agreement that he would do one tenure? Did he do one tenure? When he begins to sip from the sweet flagon of power, who would want to relinquish that? All right. So the fact that we have to, that what Chibuaka call political arithmetics. You have to solve that arithmetics and know that, look, yeah, P2B, our son, we welcome you, but hold on for now. hold on for now. This is not good for us at this point in time, because you are just going there, the likely 80% chances that you will not get the ticket. So hold on. Let us Ndigbo now take a common front and support Buhari. I mean, support Tinubu. You understand? Then from there we negotiate. When power is shifting again, we can negotiate something. Vice presidency, we could negotiate it. And then something good. It's not just about when an Igbo man occupies that position. There are certain things that will come to us that we desire. Do you understand? Not just about an Igbo man occupying the position. Igbo man will eventually occupy the position, but not now. Yes.
People like Professor Patu Tony would differ with you on this issue, but the question, in a way, you talk about political arithmetic. They are saying that this coalition would unsettle the political equation in Southeast, especially in Enugu State, and that it may affect your chances in going into 2027 as well.
My chances at the state?
Yes, at the subnational level as well.
I laugh. How will it affect the coalition? Yes. The coalition will affect my chances. With all that Peter Mba has done, do you think that anybody can upstage him in Enugu State? Let's tell ourselves the truth. Who is that person? Where is he coming from? I want to know where is the person coming from? Who has done better? Can anybody, you know, when people make these things, I laugh. It's people with short political foresight. If you look at the horizon, you will see that it is bright, very, very bright. The sun is shining brightly for Mba's second term re-election. It's not a negotiable thing. It's not something that anybody will negotiate. Mba will clinch it. If there is anything like third term, Mba will get it.
All right.
Mba will get it.
Right.
So let's know that. And then again, you're talking about Tinubu's re-election. Of course, you know that Tinubu would, unless we don't just want to tell ourselves the truth. Where are you coming from?
What is the truth?
Where are we coming from? Look at all the governors. You know, when we talk about structure, people look at how many governors does APC have now? Do you think that in Enugu State now, if Mba says, look at when we people, anybody that has political capital in Enugu State move to APC? You know that? And Mba say, look at the direction we are voting.
But it's always argued that all of them have, each of them have just one vote.
Yes, but I have one vote and I have followers.
Okay.
I have followers. There are people who believe in me. Anybody that occupies a political position has followers. Right. And you will tell them where to vote. Right. So all these people will move in that direction. If governor, let me tell you, if governor makes a pronouncement and say, look, this is where we are going, everybody will go. There is no opposition in Enugu. Everybody will go in that direction. So tell me how anybody will upstage Tinubu. We're talking about, we don't want to tell ourselves the truth, and we keep on saying these things. Well, it's good to explore, but I can tell you that it's nothing is going to come out of the coalition.
All right, Doc. Before I let you go, I see how animated you are around these issues when the state is mentioned. But I want to bring you generally back home. This is 2026, and then let's talk about Ndigbo.
Yes.
What will be your agenda for Ndigbo going forward into 2026? Bear in mind, let me lay a little groundwork.
Okay.
We've done well as a people, entrepreneurially. In
Yes.
business, we are doing well.
Yes.
In academies, we are doing well.
Yeah.
But when it comes to issue of leadership, especially political leadership, who seems to be missing the road. So I ask, what will be your agenda for Ndigbo in 2026?
My agenda for Ndigbo in 2026 is, you know, there's a saying that united we stand. We need to unite as Ndigbo and play national politics against fragmented politics. Ndigbo should unite and speak with one voice that this is where we are. This is the position we are taking. I think it will be good for Ndigbo to unite and say, look, we are supporting Tinubu. We are supporting Tinubu's second tenure. Let him finish. He said, I don't believe in this one tenure thing. One tenure is not even enough for people to exhaust projects that they have and objectives. So we should say, look, let's align, you know, nationally. Let's connect to the center. Play politics at the center. Let's support Tinubu for his second tenure. We will benefit more from it than anything else, because we are not sure. Let me tell you, uncertainties. If Obi, like Obi is going into ADC, Obi will not get that ticket. Obi will not. I can assure you. And if he gets it, like the question I asked, will they not vote for him? They will not. Right. So if we realize that this is the situation, then let us come together and say, okay, look, we are supporting Tinubu for a second tenure and negotiate something out of it. The time for Igbo presidency will come. And when it does come,
when is that time?
Well, the time will come. Let me tell you, if power returns to the north, next time is coming down to the east.
Anyways,
do you understand?
Anyways,
next time we have a justification. Do you understand? To say, look, it is our turn.
Doc,
all right?
Doc, for what of time, let's not do that part now. I want to ask, in 1 minute, what will be your advice to the federal government, to the state government in this 2026? Where should they improve on?
Well, like in Enugu State, you can see that we are doing well in all ramifications. And what we're asking is, we have a budget to implement, because that budget is everything. If you want to look at where the government is going to, it's the budget. So we need to realize the budget. The 2024 budget was 100% done. 2025 budget, 83% performance, which is excellent. Then this one, which is a huge ticket, big ticket budget, has to be done. And then it means that government has to work hard to realize this. Like His Excellency has said, you know, this Christmas break, this season, we didn't even have any break. He said there will be no break. Everybody must work, because we have 870 million to realize from internally generated revenue. Therefore, so there is nothing for anybody. There is no break. Okay, we need to work hard. And then the federal government, Tinubu is doing well. Like I said, most of the reforms will begin to yield fruit in the process of time. To understand? So let's support the federal government, especially when the president is thinking good for the country, is doing well. You see, when I told somebody before Tinubu came in, I said, look, this man look at his antecedents in Lagos. He performed. He's a performer. So when we stop him from performing as president, it's just a question of time.
All right, for once of time, but before I let you go finally, Dr. Ruben Onyeshi, yes. What are we expecting politically? Any moves?
In terms of how do you mean?
We're hearing from the grapevine that there are some moves in your corner, personally.
Myself?
Yes. What are we expecting to
oh, myself,
Good afternoon and welcome to news across the country on Aneke TV. I'm Deborah Wakaba. Now moving over to the headlines. Suspected herdsmen attack Otukbo community, 4 killed, several others missing. Women Affairs Ministry record 97% budget increase in 2026 proposal. Oyo APC resolves internal dispute, targets massive votes for president. And now to the details of the news. The federal government has ordered immediate emergency repairs on the Lagos-Ota-Abeokuta expressway following severe deterioration along the corridor linking Lagos and Ogun states. The Minister of Works, Engineer Dave Umahi, gave the directive after an inspection instructing contractors to commence nighttime palliative works to reduce traffic disruption. The intervention targets about 18 kilometers of the most damaged sections where deep craters and failed pavement have slowed vehicular movement. The minister disclosed that low-lying and flood-prone portions of the road will be reconstructed with concrete to ensure durability instead of conventional asphalt. He noted that about 60 kilometers of the highway are already at different stages of construction, while the outer-bound carriageway remains the most distressed and in urgent need of stabilization. Mr. Umahi attributed the prolonged neglect of the road to past concession disputes and engineering lapses. He added that the second phase will involve full resurfacing, bridge joint replacement and installation of solar-powered streetlights, after which a concessionaire will handle long-term maintenance. The Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has dismissed reports circulating on social media alleging plans to criminalize sexual relationship with married men. Chairman of the House Committee on Information, Honorable Jerry Otu, described the report as false, misleading and completely fabricated. He said no such bill has been presented, discussed or considered by the Assembly. The viral claim has alleged a proposed 10-year jail term for women and a 2 million naira fine for men, supposedly sponsored by the Deputy Governor Senator Akon Eyakei. The Assembly denied this, warning that the misinformation was a deliberate attempt to tarnish the image of the legislature and state officials. Lawmakers urged residents to rely only on official Assembly channels for verified information. They reaffirmed their commitment to responsible lawmaking and cautioned against the spread of fake news capable of undermining public confidence. The Enugu State Ministry of Justice is set to undergo comprehensive reforms to improve efficiency and justice delivery. The new Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Osinachi Najeze, disclosed this during his first meeting with ministry staff. He announced that all government contracts must now involve legal officers from the negotiation stage to reduce litigation risks. Planned reforms also include improved juvenile justice systems and better case management. Mr. Najeze warned against abstinentism and poor work ethics, stressing that the ministry must set the standard for professionalism. Staff were assured of improved welfare and capacity building. Gunmen have attacked Otobiapa community in Otubo local government area of Benue State, leaving at least 5 persons dead. The incident reportedly occurred around midnight when the attackers opened fire, forcing residents to flee their homes for safety. Several persons are still unaccounted for. Among those killed were a former People's Democratic Party House of Assembly candidate, Honorable Ochi Babe, and Pastor Mrs. Menu Ojiji, who reportedly died from shock. Eyewitnesses linked the attack to heightened tension in the area following a failed kidnapping attempt days earlier. Residents are calling for urgent security intervention to prevent further attacks. Community leaders have also condemned action capable of worsening divisions and appealed for calm as security agencies intensify efforts to restore peace. The chairman of Badagry local government area, Mr. Babantude Hube, has declared a 7-day mourning period following the death of the Akran of Badagry, Oba Aholu Menu Toyi I. The announcement was made with the approval of Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. The traditional ruler passed away on Monday after decades on the throne, during which he was credited with promoting peace, unity and cultural preservation in Badagry. The council chairman described the monarch as a revered custodian of tradition and moral authorities. Residents were urged to reflect on the late monarch's values throughout the mourning period. Condolences were extended to the royal family, the Council of Obas and Chiefs, and the people of Badagry and Lagos State. Senator Aminu Tambuwal has stirred debates after stating that Nigerian voters do not ultimately determine election outcomes. Speaking during a television interview, the former Sokoto State Governor alleged that electoral results are often compromised during coalition stages, distorting the will of the electorate. Tambuwal accused compromised electoral officials, politicians and judicial processes of weakening democracy. He claimed that from polling units to final declaration, the system remains vulnerable to manipulation by desperate political actors. The senator warned that continued erosion of electoral integrity could further reduce public trust in democratic institutions. His remarks have renewed calls for comprehensive reforms within the electoral and judicial systems. Edo State Governor Monday Odolo has vowed to bring to justice those responsible for the kidnapping and killing of a young man in Eboma. The incident, which occurred on January 9, sparked protests among students of Ambrose Ali University and heightened tensions in the area. The governor visited Eboma to commiserate with residents and assess the security situation. He directed security agencies to intensify operations, assuring the community that his administration has zero tolerance for criminal activities. Mr. Obibolo urged residents to remain calm while security presence is reinforced. He reaffirmed his administration's commitment to safeguarding lives and restoring full security across the state. The federal government has proposed a 97% increase in the 2026 budgetary allocation for the Ministry of Women Affairs. The allocation is set to rise from 78.5 billion naira in 2025 to 154.3 billion naira, with over 150 billion naira earmarked for capital projects. Minister of Women Affairs Iman Suleiman Ibrahim said the funding will support programs focused on gender protection, economic empowerment and social infrastructure. Gender advocates have welcomed the increase but stressed the need for transparency and proper implementation. Civil society groups say attention must be paid to healthcare, education and protection against gender-based violence. They pledge to monitor fund release and utilization to ensure measurable impacts nationwide. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has reassured Nigerians that Nestle infant formula products sold in the country are safe. This follows a product recall in the United Kingdom involving specific batches not meant for the Nigerian market. NAFDAC stated that the affected products were neither registered nor authorized for distribution in Nigeria. The agency emphasized that all locally available Nestle infant products meet regulatory safety standards. Parents and caregivers have been urged to remain calm as NAFDAC continues to monitor global developments. The agency reaffirmed its commitment to protecting public health through strict regulatory oversight. News across the country is coming to you live from Aneke TV. Remember, you can stay connected with us across all social media platforms: Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok and YouTube, all at Aneke TV. Now here's a quick recap of the major stories making the news. Suspected headsmen attack Otukbo community, 4 feared dead, others missing. Women Affairs budget jumps by 97% in 2026. And coming up shortly, Oyo APC heals internal rift, moves to mobilize votes for president. We'll be right back.
Advertise with us. Cover your event. Share your story. Call 070-3043-7110 today. Aneke TV. Move with the world.
Welcome back. Still on the news, the Rivers State government has ordered an independent investigation into allegation of extortion and examination malpractice of the State College of Nursing Sciences. The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Adaize Ore, announced the move following complaints that students were compelled to pay money for project approvals and access to examination questions. As part of immediate corrective steps, officials linked to the allegations have been suspended while arrangements are underway to appoint an acting head of department. The investigative panel, chaired by Professor Chizindu Aliko, has been directed to thoroughly examine the claims and identify all individuals involved. The Ministry of Health has also approved a forensic audit of the recent second semester examinations, while security agencies and the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria have been formally notified to safeguard professional standards. The state government says it is adopting a zero-tolerance stance on corruption in the education and health sectors. Students have been encouraged to cooperate with the panel with assurance of full protection from victimization. Authorities insist that the credibility of nursing education and professional examination in the state will not be compromised. The Kwara State government has intensified enforcement against illegal waste disposal following the discovery of large dump sites along the Tunde Idiagbon Airport Road in Ilorin. The General Manager of the Kwara State Environmental Protection Agency, Jide Aina, issued a warning during a cleanup exercise condemning the persistent dumping of refuse despite the provision of designated disposal facilities. The agency has deployed monitoring and enforcement teams to the affected areas with instructions to arrest and prosecute offenders. Officials noted that illegal dumping and open burning of waste constitute serious health and environmental risk as well as traffic hazards along the busy airport corridor. The Commissioner for Environment, alongside other senior officials, joined the exercise to demonstrate government resolve. Residents have been advised to adopt proper waste disposal practices, as offenders will now face prosecution through the state's environmental and mobile courts. Leaders of the All Progressive Congress in Oyo State have declared renewed unity within the party, pledging massive support for President Bola Tinubu's re-election bid in 2027. Key party figures including the Minister of Power Chief Adebayo Adelabu and Senator Teslim Folarin made the declaration during rallies across Ibadan, describing the move as a consolidation of party strength. The leaders emphasized the importance of early grassroots mobilization, urging members to remain committed to voter registration and ward-level engagement. They noted that Oyo State played a significant role in the president's 2023 victory and vowed to surpass that performance in the next general election. Supporting the unity drive, former First Lady of Oyo State Ms. Florence Ajimobi and governorship aspirant Barrister Akim Abaji dismissed reports of internal crisis. They described the party as more cohesive and focused on sustaining the president's renewed hope agenda. Abia State Governor Alex Oti has inaugurated the Safe School Steering Committee to enhance security in educational institutions across the state. The Commissioner for Information, Oke Kanu, announced this after the State Executive Council meeting, explaining that the initiative responds to growing security concerns nationwide. The committee will coordinate efforts among security agencies, civil society and humanitarian organizations to develop safety protocols for schools. The government says the measure is aimed at protecting students, teachers and public education assets. In a related development, the state recorded over 28,000 applications for its ongoing teacher recruitment exercise, targeting 4,000 positions. The government says the recruitment and security initiatives are part of broader reforms to strengthen the education sector. The chairman of Igbo's South Local Government Area in Enugu State, Honorable Ugo Ferdinand Ukweze, has renewed calls for the decentralization of the Nigerian police force. He said the centralized structure limits effective response to local security threats, especially in border communities. Mr. Ukweze revealed that investigation into a recent kidnapping incident uncovered criminal camps in forests along the Enugu-Kogi border. He said the jurisdictional bottlenecks delayed security operations, allowing suspects to escape across state lines. The council chairman commended Governor Peter Mbah's security initiatives, including the state's command and control center. He argued that state-controlled policing would improve accountability, intelligence gathering and response time to insecurity. Nigeria's electricity distribution companies recorded a revenue shortfall of about 92.9 billion naira in October, according to the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. The report shows that although energy worth over 300 billion naira was received, only about 255 billion naira was billed. Billing efficiency declined to about 84%, while collection efficiency also remained weak, with an average collection rate below the approved tariff. The gaps were attributed to infrastructure challenges, metering deficit and energy theft. Performance varied across distribution companies, with Ikeja and Eco Discos recording better results while others posted low recovery rates. NEC says addressing billing and collection efficiencies is critical to resolving the sector's liquidity challenges. The National Bureau of Statistics has explained that an expected rise in December inflation figures is due to the rebasing of the Consumer Price Index. Statistician General Adeyemi Adeniran said the update, which shifts the base year to 2024, reflects changes in consumption patterns over the past 15 years. He noted that the inclusion of additional product has created a base effect that may temporarily inflate figures. The Bureau says normalization measures will be applied to ensure the data reflects real economic trends. Meanwhile, Labour Party leader Peter Obi has warned that rising poverty levels pose a serious threat to national stability. He called for a shift toward production and investment in human capital as global agencies report mixed trends in food prices and hunger outlooks. The British pound recorded a marginal gain against the naira at the Nigerian foreign exchange market today. Official data shows the pound trading around 1,917 naira, reflecting slight stability in the market. Within the official window, the currency traded within a narrow range, while the parallel markets recorded higher rates. The gap between both markets has narrowed slightly compared to late 2025 levels. Analysts attribute the relative stability to liquidity support by monetary authorities, though demand for the pound remains strong for tuition payments and international trade. The Naira remained relatively stable against United States dollar in early trading at the Nigerian foreign exchange market today. The currency hovered around 1,424 Naira per dollar with minimal fluctuations. The central bank's recent liquidity measures are believed to be supporting the current stability. Market watchers describe the trend as a consolidation phase following earlier volatility. At the power market, the dollar traded at higher rates, reflecting continued demand for foreign exchange driven by travel and school fee payments. The federal government has dismissed claims of a 500,000 naira limit on card payments. The special assistant to the president of social media, Dada Olusegun, clarified that no such restriction exists. He explained that the Central Bank of Nigeria's policy focuses on ATM cash withdrawals and certain points of sales thresholds aimed at curbing fraud. The policy, he said, was announced in December 2025. Authorities urge the public to rely on official information and disregard misleading claims circulating on social media. Former Super Eagles stars Paul Okoku and Felix Owolabi have urged the national team to remain focused ahead of the AFCON semi-final clash with Morocco. Okoku praised the team's discipline but warned against off-field distractions linked to administration and welfare issues. Felix Owolabi recalled Nigeria's historic 1980 victory over Morocco, urging the players to adopt a determined mindset. He said the encounter presents an opportunity to write a new chapter in Nigerian football history. The legend stressed that success depends on unity, discipline, and effective management, calling for reforms to address long-standing structural challenges in Nigerian football. Victor Osimhen is on the verge of equaling Rashidi Yekini's goal-scoring record for the Super Eagles, needing just 2 more goals. The striker currently has 35 goals in 51 appearances. Midfielder Alexi Wobi is also approaching a major milestone set to earn his 96th cap for Nigeria. His performance has been instrumental in the team's AFCON campaign. Head coach Eric Sokushel remains unbeaten in regulation time since taking charge. The combination of experience, form and tactical discipline has boosted Nigerians' hopes of reaching the final. Meanwhile, Victor Osimhen will captain the Super Eagles in their semi-final clash against the Atlas Lions of Morocco. The regular captain Wilfred Ndidi is suspended from the encounter following card accumulation. Ndidi was cautioned during Nigeria's round of 16 victory over Mozambique and also received a booking in the quarter-final match against Tunisia. Osimhen had previously won the captain's armband in Nigeria's final group game against Uganda. He was appointed vice-captain of the Super Eagles on the eve of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. Reality television star Bam Bam has shared moments from a family visit to Ogun State, describing the experience as a period of rest and reflection. She said the visit allowed her to reconnect with her roots and spend quality time with loved ones. The actress reflected on personal challenges, including health issues from past pregnancies, noting that the break helped her regain strength ahead of the new year. Bam Bam emphasized the importance of family support and balance between public life and private well-being, thanking fans for their continued goodwill. Comedian Princess has publicly appealed to church leaders to assist her in finding a life partner. In a video shared online, she said she is ready for marriage after years of personal healing. She outlined her expectations, stating her preference for a mature and responsible partner. The entertainer said she remains hopeful and unashamed of seeking companionship. Princess urged the public to respect her decision, expressing confidence that her openness will lead to a stable marriage in the coming months. And now to end news across the country, here are the main points again. Suspected herdsmen have attacked Otukbo community in Benue State, leaving 4 persons dead, while several others are still unaccounted for as security agencies intensify efforts to restore calm. The Federal Ministry of Women Affairs has recorded a 97% increase in its proposed 2026 budget, sparking the public debate over funding priorities and accountability. The All Progressives Congress in Oyo State has resolved its internal disagreements as party leaders move to strengthen unity ahead of mobilizing massive support for presidents. And that's news across the country at noon. For breaking news and eyewitness reports, call 070-3043-7110 or follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok and YouTube, all at Aneke TV. On behalf of the producer Chidima Sogwa and the entire news team, I'm Deborah Wakaba. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Advertise with us. Call for your event. Share your story. Call 070-30437110 today. Aneke TV. Move with the world. Advertise with us. Call for your event. Share your story. Call 070-30437110 today. Aneke TV. Move with the world.
Hi, hello. It is your one and only. See, let me tell you, this is a day that the fun has made, and we have to rejoice and be glad in it. And this is the Commissioner for Enjoyment. I wanted to raise my tempo, but I just learned that it is a day of joy. And right now in the studio, I have one and only guest. This guest is somebody that I cannot even tell you about. Well, let me introduce you the Rashford of Aneke TV. Rashford, tell us who you are. Let's know who you are. Who are you?
There's no Rashford here.
There's no Rashford.
Stick with what we discussed about.
You know, the funny thing is that you came in and you are calm. I know you are not calm like this. You are not usually a calm person. So as you came in now, you are calm. You're like, okay. So
The Bible says, don't tempt the Lord your God.
oh, okay, you are not the Lord my God. Hello, guys. We just had the Lord our God enter the studio. And it's something that I am excited about. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the show, entertainment show here on Aneke TV. And we do this for a living. This is my very own Rashford of Aneke TV. Oh, sorry, Sharon of Aneke TV. And we are doing this together this afternoon to bring you the best of entertainment news and everything that has to do with gossip. Okay, now I'm going to hand it over to her because there's something I want her to tell me about. There's something I want her to talk about. This thing is one of the things that has been trending, and she's going to talk about it. She was the one that called my attention to it. While my attention was on it, she called my attention to it. Now, what do you think? What has happened yesterday, day before yesterday? What's actually in the news so far?
It's actually based on Katefe and his baby mama.
Baby mama.
Yes.
So
we are seeing the abuse. His people are saying he's domestically abusing the woman. So a lot of people, we see a lot of comments on it saying one woman was like, as I was so, you come and abuse me. You get? So when we look at it, what do you think is actually the reason why she's not even saying much?
Well, I think a lot has happened over the days, and Katefe, looking at how he is so far, I will tell you that this guy, he said that his success has, done a lot of things. That this lady has been somebody who came into the picture from nowhere, and this and that has been happening. But both of them has been doing what they have to do.
Yeah.
I showed them yesterday the post that.
So do you think it's right to judge the lady of not even saying anything?
The lady said something now. I showed you guys yesterday. It's because you were.
But you know, we were talking about this thing, and you was actually judging the lady. I was saying, that
Why you see you?
Yes, you were actually judging her. You see the thing, your Jenny has a problem. You don't judge people based on just one side of the story.
So
Okay?
how many sides?
Two sides, because there are two people.
Okay, I should not judge because
Yes,
of the
you
one.
should have.
No. See, you don't know what I said. Let me. Well, we're going to show you guys who Katefe is. We have been talking about Katefe so far, and Katefe is a streamer. He got on the limelight just this December, but he has been doing streaming for over a year now.
Yeah.
He rose from baby piano. You know what baby piano is? He started with baby piano, and now he is doing best. He's the best of the thing he can do. So now Katefe is one of the streamers we have in Nigeria who does not have sense.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much.
So now he's now going to agree with
I
me.
bless your life.
You bless my life.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
thank
I've
you
said
so
what
much.
makes sense, and because I cursed
Yes.
somebody. Good. Now leave me alone. So this guy.
No, it's actually true. It's not good.
Well, I'm telling you that this guy is somebody that I see as a problem to some things, but having him to tell you that success has no base. Success has no base. Anything can just happen, and if anything happens, then we can have it from there. But talking
So
about
how
that.
are you linking it to what is we are talking
Well,
about?
how I'm linking it to what we are talking about now is that the interviewee turned to, you see how tables turn. Table just turn now.
What actually as
Turn this table.
What
You know why? What really got me was that you are talking about this guy as somebody who, who may be losing his mind.
No, the thing is, the problem is that this is one thing we are suffering in this country. Domestic violence. Domestic violence.
Oh.
Now we see, we can see it in the case between Rich Nadana and Ned. Okay.
And
it's actually the problem in marriage right now.
okay.
Now, when we talk about Katefe and his baby mama, why would you, as a man, be beating a woman?
Well, first
You
of
don't
all,
have any reason.
okay.
justify
You
it.
know what? Right now, because of how we're going and how this drive is going, we're gonna go on a short break. Right now, when we come back, I'm gonna deal with this. She came back with banger. I'm gonna bring out all my knockouts, and we're gonna blow this whole place up. Let me see you. Stay right there and have fun.
Join us on Arena, Aneke TV's premier current affairs program, where politics, development, and governance come alive. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we host top professionals and thought leaders who speak their minds on issues shaping Nigeria and the world. It's inclusive, enriching, and absolutely captivating.
The roadmap is let's have our environment secured so that investors can come.
If you don't know what economic security is, kidnapping will tell you what it is. You kidnapping, ransom.
Customers are going to get these meters, and like we said, it's at no cost.
There are things that dialogue can handle. But when you leave it, you want to use a kinetic approach alone. You cannot.
For discussions that promise insight and deliver truth, stay tuned, stay informed, and keep watching Arena, only on Aneke TV.
All right, you're welcome to the entertainment segment of today, and I'm doing this with Rashford. She's here doing me basketballs. Now, we're
There's
talking
no
about
Rashford
Katefe.
here. There's no Rashford here. What is the problem?
Goody, calm down. Commissioner, calm down. Mental mechanic, calm down.
I'm your minister,
Sports
so I'm
oracle,
trying to like help you right here.
Everything I am, calm down. Everything that has breath. Well, I'm going to tell you that, talking about this, Katefe, I can tell you that you said that there's a lot of issues in Nigeria about... No, that's not true.
Okay.
No, that's not true. You know why I say it's not true? It's
Why?
not true because I can tell you that people just wake up to have one or two things happen to them.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
looking at that lady, a
Okay.
news came out that she's an orphan.
Okay.
First of all, Katefe stopped her from communication from everything. Second of all, Katefe stopped her from reaching out to her friends, family. So now is actually a mixed reaction because you don't know why he did that. Because why I'm saying why he did that, maybe the lady may have said one or two things against the people that she came from, and then he had to say, stop, don't talk to these people again. Meanwhile, looking at his face.
So does that justify the fact that you have to?
Does that justify the fact that what happened?
That he should be abusing.
Let's leave this Katefe matter. Let me drive you to a better matter. Yesterday, Tunde Onakoya, I want to introduce you to something. Tunde Onakoya came on X and announced that he's looking for a personal assistant, personal executive. And he said yesterday that he's looking for a personal executive. And one young man said, Sam, I'm here, I'm interested. With the way he wrote that, who he's looking for, the young man came out and said, sir, I'm here, see my hand. Guess what happened? You will see it in the next reply. Let's go.
Okay.
Now, see what he said. So I'm looking for a personal executive assistant. The best way to describe who I'm searching for is for the Donna Paulson to my Harvey Specter suits reference. I mean, the kind of person, I know, Rashford, you don't watch movie now, so let me explain it to you. It means someone who does not, this Donna Paulson, if you have watched that movie, it's a movie actually about, it's a tactical movie. Well, don't worry, let me explain who Donna Paulson to my Harvey Specter is. Donna Paulson is the secretary of Harvey Specter. Donna Paulson is someone that expects problem and proffers solution 2-3 steps ahead. So it's someone like that is ahead, very ahead and smart and intelligent and also great. Now let's move on. Must be a great writer, detailed, high agency, open to travel and must live in Lagos. Prior experience in this role also helps, but not an absolute necessity. Send me a compelling email or DM tundedaniel31@gmail.com. Now, see, people are making a very big mistake. First of all, what mistake are you seeing here? Let me ask you.
He gave you an instruction.
Right? Oh, this lady, you are busting my brain. You are busting my brain.
You know, it's even though if I was to be the person, I would offer you that.
Okay, so what was the mistake?
He said, send me a compelling. To say I'm interested is not compelling.
Do you get now? This is.
You saying you're interested. Are we doing both?
Are we? Do you get? Now let's go back to that particular story. I want to show you something. He said, Sir Alex the Great said, I'm interested, sir. Are you seeing the reply?
Interested in what?
Definitely not you. Now let's see why he said it's not him. Let's see why. Because sometimes, look at a post. Let me show you something. Some people indeed lack okay, let's talk about this. Some people indeed lack comprehension.